Welcome to the Weightlifting Scoop. We got Travis Cooper, Glenn Pendlay, and Matt Bergeron here. And me, of course, James motherfucking Tatum.
Whoa. Get some new shoes and some medals, and this guy is
that's actually my brother's girlfriend said that.
yeah.
And I just thought it was hilarious. But
That's quite funny.
Yeah,
Quite funny.
Now it's the joke around the gym. But whatever.
Glenn is unimpressed as always.
As always.
He did say it was quite funny.
Quite funny.
Quite funny. Whatever. I just had a whole bunch of some type of coffee that sweet frappuccino or something. So
That doesn't sound good.
it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Coffee sounds good, but frappuccino doesn't sound great.
I don't know. It's getting nice and hot out here, so my normal coffee in the middle of the day is not working as well. So I'm just sticking to normal hot coffee in the morning.
You're not drinking the iced coffee, are you?
Nope, no iced coffee.
Yeah, that stuff. I hate that stuff. I just hate that stuff. The frappuccino is not too terrible, but iced coffee, I don't know. I think it might just be too strong or something for my taste, but I just don't like it at all.
Yeah, the Starbucks iced coffee is definitely super strong.
That's probably why.
So I didn't drink caffeine for like 2-3 weeks now, and then I had a coffee today at breakfast. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
To have coffee after you haven't had it for a while.
Yeah, I mean it honestly increases your mood like it's ridiculous. I was extremely happy after that cup of coffee, I'll say. So what's up with these new shoes, James? You were pretty adamant about not getting shoes, which is funny because we were talking about how Glenn got a new pair of shoes about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I have a hard time paying money, like how much they normally charge for shoes. $30 really is that's a good limit to put on shoes. I don't think shoes should really be that much more expensive.
It's a reasonable limit.
And then a lot of the shoes that you get that are $30, I mean, they're just terrible.
They're $30 shoes.
Yeah. So I got a pair of shoes on clearance for, I thought the thing said 25, but it was actually 29.
Well, that sucks.
I know, I was a little disappointed
Borderline.
there. I know.
What brand were they?
I have no idea. Starts with an S.
Well, that's
Saucony.
Yep, that one.
Saucony or something like that. Is that what it is?
Yeah, what's funny is in high school, those got really big in 2004. And everybody was like, hey, man, you got them Sauconys? But then I guess it's like some English brand or something. I don't know. They're called Saucony. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, I got me some of them.
Got me some of them.
For $29.
29.
But
so.
They must not be that great for $29.
Well, they were the last ones, and they were in my size, so.
Well, that's great.
Just meant to be. So now I'm going to keep my other shoes with my safety pin in them, keeping the tongue of the shoe in. I've got a few holes in them. I'll leave them for mowing the lawn.
It's a good system.
Mowing the lawn, and you're also building the shed out back. So you've got your whole shed ready to go in your backyard. And whenever you need to do some work out there, you got 2 pairs of shoes now.
Yeah. It's getting crazy.
Just going against the grain, but...
Shit's getting wild.
Yeah.
But we're back into training. So we had nationals. I mean, Matt, it was your first nationals experience.
Very first.
And I've been to a ton of them. Glenn's been to a ton of them. James, you've been to a few. It's a beautiful hotel. I mean, first of all.
Yeah,
It was a nice hotel. It was a very confusing hotel. That's a one bad thing that I could take out of that nationals experience is finding your way around the hotel was sort of hard. There was a lot of ways to get turned around and lost in the hotel.
Well, I think on the first day, you and I actually walked to go in an elevator, and we ended up going down to the parking lot, and there was a whole separate set of elevators just to go to the parking lot.
That's not good.
And that seemed kind of weird to me, but then we were in the parking lot, and so we had to take that elevator back up, then go in a different room and get the elevator to our room. But
Well, being someone who's gone to a lot of nationals and other events, there's been some nice ones over the years, but we walked into the hotel. It's called the Grand America, and it looked like we were at the horse races.
Like at the Kentucky Derby.
I mean, honestly, there was a harp player. I mean, the hotel was insanely nice.
You know you're dealing with quality when they have a harp player.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly,
Chandeliers.
it felt a little out of place
There
at
was
first.
chandeliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked Don if we were in the wrong hotel. It was just way too nice.
But no doubt we were in the right place. And yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Once all the weightlifters got there, I felt less out of place. Saw some familiar faces, and that's always a good sign.
You know how I described it to my wife? I said, I walked into this hotel, and there's these people, and they're wearing these big floppy hats, and I guess that's like a sign of fancy people.
I was going to ask,
Fancy
what,
people?
What are those called?
Fancy people. I don't know.
What are those big hats called that women wear?
Floppy hats?
Yeah,
They-
floppy hats. I don't know.
They wear to the horse races. That's where I got that from.
Yeah.
Is the hats.
Yeah, and I was just like, people here wear fancy hats. I mean, I don't know if I fit in here.
I'm so hung up on the fact that you call them fancy people.
Well, I mean, they're just...
They were pretty fancy.
Eating their fancy ketchup and
Yeah. Fancy ketchup motherfuckers.
What
with their
is wrong with
fancy
him?
harp player.
What have they done? Who is this, and what did they do with James Tatum, first of all?
Oh.
Now, this is how you knew it was a fancy hotel, because the charge for incidentals for each room was $100, which is usually more than I pay for a hotel room. That was for incidental costs. That's how you know it was a fancy hotel.
well, thank God you're not booking the hotels if that's well,
You
know-
can get a perfectly nice Hotel 6 for 100.
I know.
there you
yeah.
go. We've been told that story before, Don. We've been
Now, I will say that one of the fanciest things about that hotel were the bathrooms.
Oh my God.
That was a nice
They
bathroom.
did have some good bathrooms.
Yeah, I mean,
And I will say, furthermore, the buffet, the morning buffet, the breakfast buffet was pretty awesome.
oh yeah.
I didn't get a
Yeah,
chance
it
to
was.
experience
It
it.
was
Wait,
pretty frickin'
was that
awesome.
for free or did that cost money?
It cost money, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So-
I went next door to the other fancy restaurant.
The Little America,
The Little
which
America.
wasn't little.
Well,
No.
how much was a Little America buffet?
I didn't get the buffet because some of us had to make weight. Lame, huh?
But
Lame.
but picture
Pretty lame.
this. So James is actually wearing the same shirt that he showed up to nationals in. It's this retro looking tank top with pink lettering that says Sisu Strength and Conditioning. It's a beautiful tank top. But we're going into the fanciest hotel we've ever been in. He has some shorts on,
I had virus tights.
virus tights with a fanny pack.
The Capri version.
Yep, the Capri virus tights.
And he proceeds to say, well, we're in a fancy hotel. I'm going to embarrass the shit out of you guys. And so he proceeds to go walk up to people and ask them questions, showing off his fanny pack and virus tights.
Well, I'll have you know that I did not embarrass any of the meth heads that were in the neighborhood. And they very much, I don't know, related to me. I don't know why, but they all started coming up and talking to me. So
That's nice, James.
well, we
It's
went.
good that you connected with those
They
people.
probably thought you had some needles in that fanny pack or something.
Well, I don't know. So we walked down to the grocery store with it was Tom and Taylor, and we passed quite a few people. I don't know exactly which drugs it were, but they were heavily drugged, messed up teeth and all that, and one guy was like, "Man, those are some cool pants." I think I embarrassed Tom quite a bit, but
It's not even
Well,
hard.
That's
I was
the
gonna
most
say, that's
fun.
hard to do.
yeah.
Embarrass Tom.
Well, I don't know. I think he puts on a front, but I think he gets embarrassed fairly easy. You just got to know how to do it.
Well, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Know how to do it.
Well, so the meet went well. It was,
It was in a grand ballroom.
it was in a ballroom. They had, They did a vote for those the backdrops and Jerry Lee and Andrew Davison on the back of them. They're really cool looking. It was 2-platform meet. Both the platforms were really nice. They're the same style platform that was in the '96 Olympics and I think a couple other ones. And I mean the meet setup, it was awesome.
The meet setup was pretty nice.
Yeah, they had them up on a stage, plenty of seating.
The only negative thing about the meet setup was it was hard to see both platforms if you were sitting in the crowd because the crowd was on the ground level.
They didn't actually have like a raised platform. I mean, so the platforms were basically on ground level.
There was like a very small.
It was raised about
like
a foot.
Well,
yeah.
you know, the kind of platform they usually have in a hotel ballroom, which I normally don't like meets that are in hotel ballrooms. Although this one was a very nice one. Mm-hmm. But yet, I like Coliseum type meets a lot better.
Yeah, where you have incline.
Yeah, we have incline seating.
Yeah, but no. How many
this
competitors?
meet was nice.
I mean, like 400 competitors. Surprisingly, the meet ran pretty on time.
Yeah.
So props for that, because meets that get this big, they don't usually run on time. That's something that we were certainly concerned about, and probably one of the reasons why they put B sessions at the end of Saturday night. So, I mean, it ran on time. A lot of good competition. I mean, I don't know how many American records were broken, but it was probably 10.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was at least in the men's, there was this, what's a 62 kilo weight class clean and jerk, 62 kilos snatch.
Snatch, clean and jerk, and total. So
Yeah.
Derek Johnson broke the snatch record at 123 and the total at 271. And CJ Cummings, I've never heard of anything like this on the men's side. I know Cheryl was a phenomenal weightlifter at a young age. But at 14 years old, this kid clean and jerked 153 kilos at 62.
Breaking a senior American record.
Yeah. I mean, that blows my mind, honestly. Like, that record had sat there for 14 years.
It has to be like the youngest person after Kurt White or somebody.
I don't even know. But
I don't even know who Kurt White is.
I think Kurt White broke the record when he was like 12 or 13 maybe.
Really?
13?
Oh, I thought it was older.
I don't know. You have to ask Marty Schnorf, but I think yeah, you have to. I think it's 13. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it was young. It was very young.
Either way, I mean, a record that sat there for 14 years. We've had some pretty good 62s. I mean, Derek broke the total record. So, I mean, obviously the 62 class is getting a lot more competitive. But a record that's been sitting there for like 14 years, and you have lifters like Derek Johnson going after it for so long, and then you have a 14-year-old break it. I mean, blows my mind. I had a conversation with Jared Fleming about it, and I mean, we had never heard anything like that, and totally unexpected to us. And we've been in the sport for 10 to 12 years, so I don't know. Certainly huge props to him if he sticks with it and improves at all from this point. I mean, he's going to be one of the best we've ever had. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. I guess the next weight class up, 69, a clean and jerk record got broken by Caleb Williams.
Yeah, ballsy jump.
174.
Yeah, so he snatched 130, PR snatch.
Which is 5 kilos off of that American record.
And and then the clean and jerk, he opened at 165. The old record was 166. And then instead of taking 167, 168 just to get a record in, jumped straight to 174. Not really sure what the significance for that jump was, but he clearly knew he was capable of it because he made it.
Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
So I don't know, maybe that had to do with world team rankings or something. I know the totals for 69s are very high for world team rankings. I mean, but given that he's missed 167 multiple times in competition, and then to come in there and make a jump like that with that much confidence and make it, I mean, he missed it on the first one and then came back and made it, but looked real solid.
Then there was the 94 class. That was an interesting session, to say the least.
Yeah, a couple back and forth snatch American records going on there. I was actually out there commentating for that session. I think the live feed actually went down, so nobody actually got to hear me, or not very much. But I got to watch that whole thing go down. I think the first person to go out was Norik Vardanian at 166 and broke the record. I think he actually opened up at 160 or 161 and then went 66.
Yeah, he opened at 60.
Then Colin, after his first attempt at 60, 61-ish, went out there at 167 and then made that. So that gave him the lead, and he just took Norick's American record from him. But then Norick came back and went 168 for his third attempt and made it. And then Colin went out there for another attempt at 169, which, I mean, the whole crowd
would have been huge.
The whole crowd behind him after doing all that. It wasn't that far off. Like, it wasn't there that day, but I don't think it's too far off.
No. Certainly surprised me. I mean, I knew Norick would probably have a chance at 66, but I never envisioned seeing people having that many attempts at it. I know a lot of people did, but, when the record sat there for so long, there's a reason for that. It doesn't just all of a sudden, but Colin came out there and executed, obviously. I mean, that's by far the best I've seen him in competition. He's always been a good snatcher, but 167 is a whole new level of snatching.
Yeah.
And Norick coming back, hitting 168. Nobody knew what to expect from him, so that's not too shabby either. I mean, when he was in 100% shape at the Olympics in 2012, he only made 170, so.
Still, a lot of weight. And he was competing for Armenia then, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he was competing for Armenia, moved back here. Now, the clean and jerk threw a lot of curveballs.
Yeah.
I think, in the 94 kilo class, I think it was definitely the most watch weight class in terms of, people trying to access the online viewership. The crowd was, the whole arena was packed. The ballroom, people were standing up against the wall. Everybody wanted to see that because there was a lot of hype. A lot of people knew that there were some big snatches that were going to be thrown around.
People started flooding right by the platform, too. It was pretty intense.
Mm.
And, two people that we haven't even mentioned yet are Kendrick Ferris and D'Angelo Osorio, which are both, and Jared Fleming, which are all three, big lifters in the 94. They're all really well known. So, this was a very stacked weight class. So, it was a fight for those top 5 positions.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the first thing that came out on clean and jerks?
Well, Colin went out there, stuck to his plan. He knew what he was capable of and basically just made his first 2 lifts, 187, 192, pretty solid. And then he established a total first at 359. And that's what he ended up totaling and winning. But the curveballs really were seeing Kendrick and Norick struggle with clean and jerks. Norick ended up bombing out in the clean and jerk, which surprised me at that particular weight. Had he opened really high, it wouldn't have surprised me, but he opened at 193. And to miss that weight really confused me, surprised me. I definitely don't think people expect him to miss that. If he had opened at 200, I wouldn't have been surprised, but at that weight, I was definitely expecting him to nail that.
Yeah, he cleaned it 3 times, but I think he just missed the jerk.
Yeah, he ended up, going up a kilo each time just to buy some time. But I don't know. I certainly expect him to make at least one of those. And Kendrick came out there and he missed his opener on the jerk. Cleaned all 3 of his attempts very easily. But he ended up only making 1 clean and jerk and ended up getting second, which is, Jared beat him last year at Collegiates, but that was kind of unexpected for me. I was thinking 203 for Kendrick, no problem. He's going to take that for the win.
Yeah, that first jerk he missed, it wasn't a strength thing. I think the bar was just a little bit misplaced on the way up, and he missed it right behind. You know what? I don't even remember exactly what happened on his next 2. But,
made the second one easy, missed it, went all the way into the squat on the 3rd attempt, and it just got a little forward. Had he had another attempt, I'm pretty sure he could have made that. But, you only get 3 attempts in weightlifting, so.
Yeah. Well, that was a good battle between them.
Mm-hmm. I think that was definitely the most intense battle at the meet, and that was fun. So.
Yeah, the next session, 94s, it goes up to 105s. There was a little bit of battle. I think one surprise was Andrew Davis was, I think, like the favorite to win, and he actually ended up bombing out on snatches at 157. It happens. He just wasn't there on that day for doing well in snatches. But then he came back strong and did well in the clean and jerk. If you ever get a chance to watch him clean and jerk, it's really interesting. He's got a very good technique, a very smooth transition underneath the bar, and it's really something to see. But I think who ended up taking first? Spencer Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Took first in the 105s. Caleb Whitby took fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Missed third by a jerk.
Missed third place by a jerk. Well, he did go take like a 12-kilo jump, though, so.
That he requested.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have changed place.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
When you're in a
Caleb's
situation
style.
like that, I mean, if you're in fourth place and the next place up is 12 kilos, there's no point in taking a 6-kilo jump if it doesn't change your placement, unless you're trying to make a certain total. But, he went out there and tried at it. Wasn't quite there, though.
Yeah, and actually in the supers, Kane. Glenn, as a former super heavyweight weightlifter, was it fun for you to see a 400-pound snatch again?
Yeah, I think it was, definitely. It's been a long time since anybody snatched that much in the United States, so it's kind of nice to see somebody doing it because, it's kind of one of those weights that, I think somebody has to do first before they kind of let everybody know that it's possible. And I think, Shane, back when I lifted, Shane Hammond was snatching, around 180 plus, snatched up to, I think his best is 197.5. But he was definitely by far the biggest snatcher, and he was the person that everybody else kind of set their sights on. And it's nice to know that we have another person that's in that range now, so that I think it'll raise everybody's game a little bit.
Yeah, the last person to snatch 400 pounds was Casey Bergner, and that was now. I mean, that's 6-7 years ago when he was in the 180s, and he snatched it 2 or 3 times. But, and then Kane came up, and he made a 400 total, so 400 kilogram total, another huge benchmark. He totaled 399 at Pan Am, so I know that was definitely something he was gunning for.
Yep. And so he did 182 and 218 there.
Mm-hmm. And then, I thought he was going to take like a 223 attempt or something for his third, because that would have put him at 405, which would have made him, I think, the second best super heavy ever. But, he went out there for a 500-pound clean and jerk, which was a huge jump. I didn't really know what to expect when he made that big of a jump, but he racked it. And, I think that should be exciting as a spectator. What did you guys think about that?
It was a huge lift.
It
was not a lift. It was a no lift, but it was still huge.
Right.
Everybody was watching. It get pretty
Just the
excited.
fact that somebody had 500 pounds on the bar, I think, is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's been since Shane. I don't think anyone else has even put that on the bar as a super. And I might be missing something.
Probably not since the 70s.
No.
Even at
500.
at the Arnold, when we got some international lifters, I think the most I've seen there is 225.
So, how many people have clean and jerked 500 pounds in the U.S.? Of course, Mark Cameron did it back in the day. Shane obviously did it. Did anyone else? I know there's a few more.
I don't think even Mark Henry did an official 500 pounds.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
No, I don't think he
How
did.
about,
We got Don back here on
was
the.
the super before Shane? Spanish fellow.
I know who you're talking about.
Mario Martinez.
Martinez. I think he had a big snatch, though. I don't think his clean jerk was up that.
Yeah, so, regardless, I know there's a few, but, it's only a handful of people. So when you start attempting that weight, you're putting yourself on a whole different level of weightlifters.
Yeah, I can back squat that.
Really?
Yeah. I've done that 3 times.
Amazing, James.
I know.
Well, speaking of, we'll start, talking to these guys now. As far as Matt, this was your first nationals experience. What was it like? given there's a lot of people out there that are trying to qualify for nationals and really want to, and what was it like for you when you saw the venue, you saw everyone there? There was 400 something competitors. I mean,
it was exciting to say the least. When I've never been to an event like that before. I have done sports and things like that for a while, but going to a venue there, seeing the amount and level of competition there live was a whole new experience, and it was just great to be there to finally actually be at a national level competition.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely a lot of fun, and I mean when you're talking about, I think one thing about this nationals is that everyone showed up for the most part. There wasn't a lot of people sitting at home this time, which in the past there has been, weight classes where sometimes not everyone did show up. And I know Ian Wilson kind of tweaked himself. He's like the only person that I could think of that wasn't necessarily competing, but it was for good reason. He's had so many meets this year, and he's got to get ready for Worlds. But every other weight class was, had everyone there.
Well, the Barnes brothers didn't show up. They had the same situation as Ian, so many international meets this year.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they would have stacked that 62-kilo weight class up a little bit more. You had CJ, Derek, and Daryl.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't even remember which one's the 62.
It's Daryl, yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah, it gets confusing. Having twins and then having to remember their names and which weight class they're in.
Yeah.
And then James, you won nationals this year, so you had a lifetime performance, 7-kilo PR. So.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty exciting. Went out there and everything kind of felt good. Everything fell into place. Made a PR snatch and a PR. You know what? I actually opened up with a PR clean and jerk as a 77, just because I opened up. The most I've done in competition is 171 as a 77, and I've cleaned 75, 76, 77 multiple times in competition, but I always missed the jerk, so I had to mentally get over that hump. So I opened up at a competition PR of 172, and then I made it the first attempt, and I think that kind of gave me a confidence boost to go out there and make 177 after that. And I think it was just a good meet. I attempted a 152 snatch. It was just a little bit behind, or I wasn't upright enough. I'm not quite sure which one it was, but either way, I get some more confidence going out there at 50 plus weights. Eventually get out there at 58 and see if we can knock that record down. It's my goal.
Yeah.
All the jerks look solid, though.
Yeah. They felt good. I missed my last clean and jerk just because of a weight change not getting put in time. So then I had, I think I had 7 seconds when I ran out there and tried to clean it, and it wasn't even close. But
think of how epic that would have been. Had you made that.
I thought of that right after. I was like,
epic.
You know what? I probably should have just made that. That would have been cooler.
That would have been the most hit hook grip slow-mo ever. You just jumping on the bar, grabbing it, and cleaning it.
I highly doubt that he would have gotten that on film because there was no time to get ready for that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something like, I highly doubt that would be cooler than my beer video or the belly flop video or whatever.
Probably not better than a belly flop video. That was by far the best.
Yeah.
Still waiting for the trio video to come out.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. But, after the competition, after we watched Kane do his crazy amount of lifting, we went out there to the pool and did a redemption. When we were in the Dominican Republic, we did a beard water flinging video and a belly flop video. And the belly flop one didn't turn out right, so we did a redemption at the pool there. And it turned out pretty good this time.
Yeah, I must say that was obviously not being there for the earlier one. I have to say that you had excellent extension on that belly flop video. I mean, you didn't try back out of that at all. You were parallel to the ground to the freaking end. That was just awesome. Just awesome.
Fully
had to be
commit.
one of the all-time great belly flops ever.
You know what? There might be some type of relationship between weightlifting and belly flopping. You know, I mean,
It's possible.
with the belly flop, you got to commit, and you got to go all the
Yeah.
way, and you're not going
Well,
to
you
be not
definitely
scared to
committed
pull
on
away
that
from
one.
it.
We should
I mean,
find
I
the,
watched that over and over several times, and I was just, holy shit. He didn't back out of that at all, not even an instant, not even a millimeter. You know, it's just awesome to behold.
We should find the next.
So I finally impressed Glenn Pendlay.
Yeah,
Let's find
you
the
did.
next Redneck Olympics and see how well you do in the belly flop contest.
Okay.
Well, if we're doing that, what's it called when you have the toilet bowls and you play it like horseshoes? The
toilet
what do you
bowl
call
horseshoes.
it? Toilet covers.
I have
toilet
no
seats.
idea.
Toilet seats?
Well, that is awesome. I want to play that.
You know, my middle school teachers used to give those as bathroom passes. So they'd make the kids walk down the hallway with the toilet seat in their hand. And I guess it just to embarrass the kid. I don't know. It sounds fun to
Doesn't
me.
seem very nice.
Oh,
Man,
no.
I'd be happy about that because then if you need to take a shit, at least that's probably cleaner than the other one. So
That was kind of uncalled for. Come on.
No, that was perfect. That will show that teacher. I should have done that. Thanks for the toilet seat. The one in there was pretty dirty. Just
Of course,
hand it
this
right
was
back
her
to
now, but yeah, that would have been good.
Oh,
Well, back to nationals though. Interesting.
We've kind of
you didn't
Pass
need
that
that
by.
you didn't need that for nationals. The toilet rooms, they weren't even stalls. They were literally rooms. They were like palaces.
oh yeah. I mean,
Called where the toilet was is called a water closet.
Water closet,
Which
full
is what it-
full
what it
water
actually-
closet.
a toilet is a very
Okay,
inappropriate word.
Did they
for a
have
fancy
the
place.
people in there handing out mints?
No.
No, but they did wipe my butt.
Well, that's almost as good.
No, that was a joke. But
Yeah, James, there was no service like that. I don't know what happened to you.
James, that was just,
Well,
that was just one of the meth heads in the bathroom. So I'm sorry to say.
I always think the bathrooms are, pretty nice if they got the people in there handing out the mints. Sometimes they have that at the airport,
yeah.
or give it a little mouthwash or something. You guys have seen that?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
I think it was, I know it was special because they had cloth towels to dry off with, which I quickly
notice
threw
that.
away. Well, then you threw away a cloth towel in the trash. See,
Damn.
which I did the first time.
They were
I'm
like
surprised they didn't steal any cloth.
they were
towels.
like the napkins at a fancy restaurant. They didn't have paper towels. It was linens,
Yes.
Yeah.
Floppy hats, napkin, hand wipes, and
palaces for bathrooms.
Yeah.
There was incredible bathtubs in the rooms.
Oh yeah, with handles on them so you could get out easily. They were very deep.
I didn't get into bathtub. I just took showers. I feel let down now because I'm hearing about how incredible those bathtubs were. But I did notice they looked pretty good, but I just didn't make use of it.
I'm upset that I didn't find out about the super shower that James discovered till the
Oh.
last day.
So I went into the spa and I paid $10. It didn't come exactly with the room to go make weight the morning of my competition. And the sauna was kind of a crappy sauna. It only got up to 150 and it wasn't really that hot. Couldn't sweat too much. So I went on this aromatherapy enhanced steam room. So I got in that steam room and made weight with my sauna suit on and got out and I smelled wonderful.
Smell good, lift good.
Yeah, and then I went into the shower. Now this thing was something else. There was 18 shower heads coming from all different directions. So you get in there and you just got water coming from every direction.
That sounds like it was worth $10.
Oh, it was definitely. I mean, that's the reason I used that one instead of the free meat sauna across the street. So I wanted to use this 18 headed shower, and it was an experience.
How did I not hear about that?
I don't know. I was talking about it the whole time.
Well, you never talked to me. I had $10 for a spa and you get a shower like that. That would have been right up my alley.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never been in a spa. That would have made a nice new leaf for me.
yeah, that would have been. I don't know if all spas are like this, but it was pretty fancy.
I bet there's some differences.
Fancy is a continuous word being used for this hotel and the whatever you call it.
Amenities.
Amenities, exactly. That's a great word. But yeah, I mean, we have to there's some people that aren't here that we have to give some shout outs to because we had some first time medalists at Nationals. Trevor Britton. He got third at Nationals.
Becca got third, right?
And Becca got third at Nationals.
And Trevor actually managed to make a snatch that he couldn't stand up with. That's fairly
twice.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
And made more clean and jerks than he made snatches.
Yeah. So Trevor's notoriously a good snatcher and not a great jerker.
Nice.
So he made one snatch. So he first went out there and he missed a snatch behind, and then he went up there, and he caught the snatch and he was down there at the bottom of the snatch, and then he started standing up and it got a little wobbly. Then he went back down, and then started coming back up again, and then he got stuck. Then he went back down, and then he tried to stand up again, and then he just couldn't stand up. So he got pinned underneath a snatch of all things. And then he went out on his third attempt and made it pretty easily.
So Glenn has him doing overhead squats until he cries every day.
Well, we haven't really started on that so far. But, you know, I do, in all seriousness, think that he should do some sort of punishment after that. Anytime you get pinned by a snatch, there should be some sort of week-long or 2-week-long punishment that says you have to do a certain amount of overhead squats. You know, something.
Aside from that, though, he did miss his first 2 attempts. He's been having a rough go in training leading up to that, so everybody's scared shitless, including him. He comes out there, he makes it, and then he ends up medaling in the total, which was a huge step for him. I think that'll give him some confidence leading up in training. I think it'll make him hungry.
Yeah, because that's
to continue
so
to medal.
different from where he normally does, where he's like a really good snatcher and then lets down a little on a clean and jerk. Having a hard day snatching and then coming back and doing great in a clean and jerk is totally uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
In a good way.
Yeah.
So, and then Becca ended out hitting a PR total of 185, and she ended out getting third as well. So, I mean, first time medalists. I mean, that's awesome. You know, those are 2 people that we expected to do well, but based on the start list, it looked unlikely that they were going to medal coming into the meet, and then, you know, by God, they did it.
What were the other 2 totals in Becca's class? Do you remember?
I'm honestly not sure. I think second place was pretty close, but Jenny Arthur definitely took the first place position pretty easily.
Yeah.
And a lot of people,
225-ish.
a lot of people in Becca's class, I noticed, had bad days.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to Dawn about this a little bit after the meet.
All classes.
Yeah, I
All
really
classes.
had not been like super impressed with how Becca lifted, just not just how she had competed on that day. She hadn't seemed to have made a lot of attempts or really totaled high in comparison to her best total. But she did good compared to how everybody else did. And sometimes when you get in a class where everybody's just missing, and the totals are just real low, if you can just make some lifts and get through it, you can come out on top. And she did.
Yeah, early on, there was an awful lot of red, a lot of misses in the A sessions of lifting, more than I can remember seeing. I mean, we had some great sessions, and you guys have gone over them, but total misses were unbelievably up. The 48 women were terrible.
What,
as far as that,
9 lifters?
there were 9 lifters in the clean and jerks. Nine of the 11 lifters made 1 clean and jerk, and 1 made 2 and 1 bombed out. And of those 9, 5 on the 1 made clean and jerk they had, it was the last clean and jerk they had, including the winner, including Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
It was, oh my God, it was a battlefield out there for a while.
It was very strict. The judging was extremely strict early on. There was a lot of press out calls for whatever reason. So I mean, it was definitely pretty interesting.
And I just mentioned this because one of the coaches mentioned it to me, and I think as I looked at it, it was there was certainly, it seemed like there was a lot of this. I think both the altitude and the dryness of the town sort of got to people. People were coming in lighter body weights than they thought they were. And that may have been the thing that wore on them through the weekend. I don't know. But I know a lot of people seem to have a little trouble maintaining body weight.
Either way, yeah, our women's team did pretty good. Most everyone else, it was their first nationals. Morgan, of course, she competed as a 53, weighing 49. She just didn't, it wasn't necessary for her to cut weight because she's already at the top of the list on the world team. She's in the top 2. And she hit PRs on her openers. She opened really high, and made 75 and 95, which I thought was a huge step for her. And she cleaned 100 and had the jerk over her head. And as she was recovering, missed it. So I think that's got to be a huge confidence booster because she's, of course, going for the American records eventually as well.
Yeah, 100 kilos is a lot of weight.
Yeah, that was a double body weight clean. She cleaned it in training, but was probably weighing over 50 kilos. But at the meet, she weighed in at 49, and she cleaned 100. So double body weight clean for a female lifter. That's there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see who else on the team. Rachel Davis did well.
First national competition in front of her family, which is cool. She's from whatever state we're in, Utah.
20 minutes away from Salt Lake City, I think. Yeah, she did real well on the Stevie 58. I am not sure what place she ended up. Maybe like 6?
I think 6th or 7th.
6th or 7th.
Yeah,
one of those.
She had a rough day, but I tell you what, the Stevie, she has the potential to be at the top of that weight class eventually. And she wasn't happy with how she did. However, at the end of the day, like, everyone can look back and be like, oh, I could have made this lift, I could have made that lift, and everyone's gonna think that they could have done better. But I think she's definitely 185 to 195 totaler in a year for sure. But yeah, we got to get to training. It's kind of getting late. We just want to give you guys a recap on nationals a little bit, and it was a great meet. It was a great venue, and we had a good time. And we're proud of our women's team. It's the first time they competed together. They did well enough to get first place as a team, and so hopefully we can continue recruiting and build on this experience and get ready for the next one.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Something that we didn't mention was Sean beat me in the clean and jerk.
Oh,
You
Sean.
son of a bitch.
I know.
You know what? Yeah. Sean's performance deserves some serious recognition because, Sean moved here and he was doing like mid 120s in the snatch, maybe a 165 clean and jerk.
Yeah, he's gone up in a major way.
But his technique is completely different. Improvement in technique since he moved here, probably at the top of the list as far as like lifters here, and just come a long way. He clean and jerked 185.
Yeah, that was a major breakthrough for
Mm-hmm.
him.
His PR was 180, and
I would have been very impressed if he would have done 182, just 400 pounds.
Yeah,
But
Which he
doing
did on
like-
his second
Yeah,
attempt.
doing 85. That's awesome.
he wrote goals on his platform for nationals and exceeded that goal. Which were hefty goals, by the way, because they were significant PRs on the platform. He exceeded his clean and jerk goal because his goal was 182, and he clean and jerk 185. So I think he's somebody to look for. He's still in the developmental stages in the snatch, but I see him as a 50-200 guy in the reasonable future, especially given his improvement in technique. Now his strength can show. So
Yeah, and he's got some strong legs.
yeah,
Wow.
he built a squat and has incredible jerk. So I think 200 kilo clean jerk. It's going to take some time. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, but now that I'm seeing him do in the 180s plus, I see 200 as a reality in the next year or so. So yeah, definitely want to give him a shout out. Anything else, guys?
I guess real quick, the rest of the guys, how everyone did. Stephen Brown totaled with a
220.
220. Not quite as good as he wanted to do, but still made a total at his first nationals. Next up is me and Travis. Travis, I think your back was hurting a little bit, so you were a little bit more conservative this meet.
Well, it's a snatch better than at Pan Am, so definitely happy to add some kilos to the snatch, and then in the clean and jerk, had the weight on the bar for the win, and just a little out of my range on that day. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how the meet went. We're definitely looking forward. I mean, now this weight class, it's me, James, and Chad Vaughn. There's a couple others as well, but I mean, there'll be 3 previous national champions next year. Obviously, Chad is pretty decorated all around, and
9-time national champion.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of, I guess, accomplishments on all of our resumes, and I think that'll make for exciting battles in the future. So, I mean, that was a fun meet. So,
yeah, sure was. Then we had Trevor in the 85s. We talked about him. Matt and Jared at 94. Sean at 105, and Tom at Super. He had a little bit of elbow hyperextension in the warm-up, and kind of threw him off and had some pain going out there, so he wasn't able to actually make a lift, and then pulled out of the competition. But I think no serious damage was done, and he is back to training. So no need to worry about that. And I think that's everybody.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week most likely. We'll probably just be doing one a week for a little bit, as we're preparing for the next meet, and hope you guys enjoyed nationals. I mean, I think it was a good meet, so hopefully USA Weightlifting, will continue to put together some big venues and keep growing the sport.
Yeah, great sport.